Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, giving us a little bit of listen. Psalm 129. So, Psalm 129, it's about the attack of the enemies upon Israel, upon Israel's enemies upon Israel. And I want to look at this, and I'm going to take this into the realm of spiritual warfare. So let's just be real honest here. We have an adversary out there. We have an enemy out there. And Jesus said that he comes as a thief, and he comes to steal and to kill and to destroy. Peter says that Satan is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. Paul says in Ephesians, he says, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. He says our battle isn't what we can see and feel. He said, but we wrestle against principalities, against spiritual leaders and spiritual elite and spiritual princes. We wrestle against principalities. We wrestle against powers, those that have the ability to engage our lives. We wrestle against principalities and powers and the rulers of the darkness of this age, those that have an ability to just bring darkness upon us and into our nations and into our world and into our lives, and against the spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places, those that just attack us on a regular basis. I want you to know that if you belong to Christ and if you belong to God, you are in a spiritual battle. And we might need to just start waking up and recognizing this so that we can be fighting the right battle. Israel has always been in that battle. Satan has always been trying to destroy Israel. He tried to destroy them in the Red Sea. He tried to destroy them, all the babies in the day of Moses. When Moses was a baby, he tried to destroy them under Pilate. When Jesus was born, he said to kill all the babies 2 and under. He has tried to destroy them under Hitler. Satan has always tried to destroy Israel, but guess what? They still exist today. You don't see the Assyrians, you don't see the Medo-Persians, but you see the Israelites, the one who God protects. And I'm going to tell you something else. The enemy has tried to destroy his church from the moment that it was born, through Acts, through the New Testament, through the first centuries after the church was born. God has always tried to, not God, Satan has always tried to destroy the church by killing it off, and he hasn't succeeded. Every country in this world has a remnant of believers. Even North Korea has a small remnant of believers, those who place their faith and trust in Jesus Christ. Despite their attempts to eradicate the church, they cannot eradicate the church, and they never will. So he says, many a time have they afflicted me from my youth. But let Israel now say, many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, yet they have not prevailed against me. The enemy cannot prevail against you. The enemy will not win over God's church. He may afflict them, he may persecute them, but he will not win. The plowers plowed on my back, they made their furrows long. The Lord is righteous. He has cut in pieces the cords of the wicked. He's saying, look, I didn't come out of this innocently. The plower, it's like they plowed on my back and made their furrows long. You can see like a whip in these long lines. But verses 5 through 8, he says, let all those who hate Zion be put to shame and be turned back. Let them be as grass on the housetop, which withers before it grows up, nor he who binds sheaves his arms. Neither let those who pass by them say, the blessing of the Lord be upon you. We bless you in the name of the Lord. He says, look, let the enemies of God not prevail. It's like a prayer. It's like he's invoking it. You know, it's time we quit coddling the enemy and the attacks that he's bringing into our lives. And it's time we started praying and invoking the blessing of God against the enemy and to defeat the enemy. I preached from Numbers chapter 10 Sunday, and it's starting in verse 35. And it's the children of Israel beginning their journey from Mount Sinai to the promised land. And whenever that cloud would go up and they would begin to move and the ark would move, Moses would say, rise up, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered. Let those who hate you flee before you. And when you return, O Lord, to the many thousands of Israel. Moses was invoking the warrior spirit of God, and he was saying, clear the path, make your enemies flee before you, and rest upon us. That might be a blessing we might need to invoke upon ourselves, upon our families, and upon our community. Lord, make the enemy flee, defeat him, and push him away, and rest upon us, and turn your face upon us. Do some spiritual warfare today. Use that and get out there in faith today. God bless you guys. Love you. Bye.